Nice.
What's up, reprobates? What's nice? What the fuck? What the bro? You ruined the introduction. You know what? I'm Black Redguard. Everybody knows me. Jesus, that was arrogant. I'm Black Redguard. Fuck you. Yeah, we're late. We're lumping. Well, I'm
Wait,
a
how do you
solid
see
pro.
the chat? Okay, you know, whatever. I don't care.
Maybe you should get a real computer instead of whatever ghetto ass tablet you've got. Tiva, introduce yourself. These two at the bottom have no sense.
I'm Tiva. How's it going?
What's up?
I'm
Skrilla.
Oh, sorry.
You don't matter.
All right, Skrilla.
Nobody
go
wants
ahead.
to. Nobody wants to know who the fuck you are.
Yo, I'm Skrilla.
Go ahead. Zion.
Oh, I thought you skipped over me.
You know what? You know,
I'm Cyan, or Jacob.
and we are
The gang of
Gang of
four.
Four.
the Gang of Four. That synchronization will get better, otherwise people will be put on the wall. But anyways, so yeah, this actually came out of whose idea was this?
I think it was like a mixture. I just spitballed the
Wasn't it
name,
yours?
and y'all were talking about streaming, and I just spitballed the name.
Me and Cyan were talking about doing a duo or some shit, and then you brought up the name, and then BRG put that shit all together and synthesized it.
Yeah.
Jesus
Our leader.
Christ!
Yeah,
Could
we're
you
gonna
get
do
any
this now.
further up my ass? Jesus Christ! Anyways, so yeah, we're here to brainwash you. You may have heard of DSA Liberation Caucus. This also serves as proof that DSA Liberation Caucus is not just BRG and BRG's alts. So
I don't even know that guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have never spoken a word to each other, but yeah, here we are. We're real people. We're nice people, and well, are we nice people? I don't think we are. What the fuck do you have?
My arm hurts.
What is that?
It's a washing machine. Something's good. You know what? Never mind.
All right, okay.
No, I'm joking.
Playing with fucking toys. Anyways, so a bit about DSA Liberation Caucus. You all might have already seen these. Maoists don't play with toys. Maoists play with guns.
Can't bring
This
that
can
on
shoot.
stream.
Well, you can. I can't guarantee you'll be streaming for very long. So, who wants to read our points of unity?
We are Marxist, Leninist, Maoist, and DSA. Democratic Socialists of America is the largest socialist mass organization in the United States, with dozens of members holding elected office and thousands of members engaged in active grassroots participation in movements that have and will continue to shape the world we live in for the better. However, as Maoists and DSA, we believe that ideological and political struggle cannot be shirked in Comrade Mao's call to combat liberalism must be heeded and taken seriously. Otherwise, opportunistic and revisionist trends will arise and rot the soul of the organization.
Some people would say that they already have.
Pretty sure
that,
they started out that way.
Yeah, Harringtonites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a Harringtonite? That's a big word. What's a Harringtonite? I mean, I know what that is, but explain to these ignorant people that are watching this at 8:06 on a Friday evening. What is a Harringtonite?
So when DSA was first founded, which also interestingly, it's a direct continuation of SDS. I learned that the other day. But when DSA was first founded, it was founded by Michael Harrington, who was a very, very he has some interesting ideas.
Leave it at that.
Yeah.
You know, his book, The Other America, was actually on the Black Panther Party's reading list.
I have his other book.
I was talking about this with Tiva. Some of his writings aren't bad, but him as a person, his actual, like, the shit that he wanted is, like, so fucking ignorant. Like, I just don't like him. I just don't really like him. There's not much else I can say.
Are you guys ready for violent cultural revolution?
I dream about it every night.
Si se puede.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
I sleep with an AR in my arms.
Oh dear. Well, you better have.
That's
good
why
trigger
you're not
discipline.
allowed to have one.
You have good trigger discipline in your sleep. We also promote a revolutionary theory of change. So what is a theory of change? Basically, okay, we all know that shit's bad. Barrels and barrels and barrels of ink have been spilled explaining why shit sucks and why shit is bad. So a theory of change is basically, okay, so we know this stuff is bad. What are we going to do about it? So the Marxist-Leninist Maoist theory of change, and thus that of DSA liberation, because we are all Marxist-Leninist Maoists, is revolutionary. While we do not fundamentally oppose participation in reformist struggles, our engagement in these activities should be to expose the ruling class which steals our wealth and robs us of our happiness. Happiness. Do I have a fucking lisp? Happiness.
Pretty sure you said it the same way 3 times in a row.
Concessions are not given freely by the ruling class. They are extracted through vicious, bitter struggle. Many in DSA orient towards the middle class, people like union staffers and Democratic Party workers. This is a fundamentally rightist orientation, as the organization will reflect the interests of the professional middle class. Instead, our orientation should be toward the proletariat, the colonized, the masses of queer workers, working class students, the undocumented, prisoners, and other militants who have no stake in this system and work for its end. Towards a party of a new type. Skrilla, you read. You like running your mouth. You read this one.
Democratic centralism is a necessity for any revolutionary movement that hopes to win. It is an organizational method by which the masses of the Workers' Party participate in a truly democratic process, freely debating and struggling over political line and methods to implement and then abide by the decision reached after engaging in a vote, even if the individual members disagree. Lines are subject to revisiting, additional debate, and revote. But once passed, all members are accepted. What's up?
You read like a football coach.
I like how you raise your finger like the Hamas guys.
Members are expected to adhere to them unless they are overturned. This method of interformation organizing is essential to ensure that we're all able to meet our highly organized, disciplined, and trained enemies with a highly organized, disciplined, and trained force of our own. If DSA is to transform itself into a vanguard formation, quit moving. I'm losing track. It will...
Because you suck.
It will be compelled by necessity to transform itself into a more disciplined organization based on democratic centralist framework.
Good job. Well, at least I know you can read now. Tiva.
I want to put it to a vote.
What to a vote? Whether or not you're all going to take me out behind the fucking barn and beat my brains in?
We already decided to do that.
Yeah. Once you're 35.
Oh dear.
For the eradication of chauvinism, a socialist organization of our size and with our demographic composition will undoubtedly have chauvinism of various sorts, with the main manifestations being white chauvinism and male chauvinism. Many non-white and non-male comrades have expressed dismay at the behavior of many of our white and or male comrades in DSA spaces. The only way to address this inexcusable behavior is to orient ourselves and actively recruit non-white and or non-male comrades and encourage them to seize positions of leadership within the organization.
Raise your hand if you're white. Raise your hand if you're white. See, we practice cracker control in our caucus. There are no white people here.
I don't know about all that.
They're not allowed on camera.
Yeah, they're not allowed to show themselves to publicly represent the organization. Because these settlers, they're rabid animals. We don't want them. They got to stay in their cage. Otherwise, they're going to be running around biting people. Yugoslavs are not white. Are Yugoslavs white? Nah.
Not according to Western Europeans.
Nah, they ain't white.
Not according to other Yugoslavians.
You are Albanian. You are not white. You are not Albanian. You are not. If you are Albanian, you are not white. You are African type. So yeah, eradicate chauvinism. Otherwise, chauvinism will eradicate you. Or what's most likely going to happen is the masses will eradicate you because of your chauvinism. This is a spicy one. The settler colonial contradiction is the primary contradiction. The United States is a settler colony. It is not a nation. It is a prison house of nations, with the Euro-Americans being the jailer. Many comrades commit errors of line in practice because they fail to take this into account, making allusions to the multinational working class. And we're not even saying that there isn't a multinational working class. What we're saying is that the experience of the working class across nations, whether it be oppressor nations or oppressed nations, is not the same. So when you flatten contradictions, you just think that everybody is like one big happy working class, then you make many, many mistakes, and your efforts to organize said class are going to fail because you don't take into account the fact that contradictions can shift and change and move according to concrete conditions. And flattening the contradictions derived from settler colonialism. Ultimately, the main problem, the primary contradiction in this country, the contradiction around which every other contradiction revolves, is the fact that this country was built on stolen land by stolen people. And failure to realize that is a disservice to our Black, Indigenous, and Latina comrades, and a major reason why many do not flock to our organization. Liberation will only come when the prison house of nations is broken open. We support national liberation for all colonized people in the United States.
Socialism is the rule of the working class. Socialism is not a series of reforms, nor is it a party calling itself communist in power, allowing billionaires to exploit the people while calling themselves red experts. As Maoists, we recognize that class struggle continues during the socialist period, and working class revolutionaries must be vigilant about both old and new bourgeois elements that will destroy the revolution and cast the working class back into slavery. Nationalization of industries and utilities is a key part of socialism, but equally important is shifting the relations of production in a communist direction. The party apparatus must continue to submerge itself in the masses and build communist structures while also forestalling the rise of a new bureaucratic capitalist class, as happened in the USSR and PRC.
We are unequivocally anti-imperialist. Communists and the imperial core have our main duty as the destruction of the imperialist system, which makes life for our class siblings around the world a living hell. DSA has historically wavered on questions of anti-imperialism, most recently around the question of Palestinian self-determination and national liberation. The time for such wavering is over. Our goal is to ensure that the DSA takes firm stances in word and in deed against imperialism.
You're a good speaker.
Thank you.
He does it with force.
Yeah.
You need to be the guy that like reads movie trailers. Coming soon.
Lord.
Coming soon to theaters and real life. Protracted People's War. Will you survive or will you die?
Lord.
So, we've got convention coming up. How do we feel? Rashida Tlaib is going to be speaking, our keynote speaker. I'm looking forward to it. Well, actually, I've already met her. She came to St. Louis to canvass for Corey last year. So I'm looking forward to seeing her again and listening to her speak. She's probably like the left wing of the squad at this point. I'm glad AOC's trifling ass is not speaking. Like,
Is the squad even real?
no, not really.
No.
It's like basically a group of people that have like some semblance of agreement on things, but it's not like a real force. Now, if there were 30 or 40 or 50 of them, they might be able to like start getting some shit going. But the squad was a mainstream media creation. That's pretty much it.
You're telling me they're not their own gang of four?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Can you imagine if we got elected to Congress?
Oh, we'd...
Well, all four of us would probably be assassinated, to be honest.
Good luck.
Oh, yeah, if y'all see the thumbnail, we are strapped. So,
except for me.
Yeah. Except for you. Well, that's because you live in
You're
communist.
not supposed to tell them.
Oh, yeah, guys, I am strapped. Please don't come for me, please.
Get a baseball bat.
I have a baseball bat.
Yeah, get some. I get shit like this. They're called tire thumpers. See? I've got two of them, and I've got a fucking tire iron under my bed. I'm just obsessed with blunt weapons.
True,
This one is called line struggle. This one is called cracker control.
They see plenty of action.
No, I actually haven't had to use them against the human being yet. But I'm big enough to be. I haven't had to use them against the human being yet. See, I'm big enough where I'm intimidating by myself. I don't have to carry around a fucking stick.
Are you hitting dogs with that? Are you hitting goats with that? You said you don't have to use it against a human being.
I live in St. Louis. Why would I have on what occasion would I have a goat? Would I come across a goat to hit?
You'd be surprised.
The only time I've seen a goat is at a petting zoo.
Yeah, I bet you'd go to a petting zoo and just hit them.
I do not abuse animals. What is wrong with you?
Don't put me in with this.
Don't include me.
What do you mean? You know, whatever.
Just
guys.
because goats smell bad does not mean I'm going to go around hitting them.
Okay, you were a little harder on goats than that. You were like,
no, it was chickens.
They're vermin. They're
No, you was talking about prairie dogs.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I don't like prairie dogs. I don't like animals that bury up under the ground and fuck up infrastructure.
He don't fuck with burrowing rodents.
I don't like rodents.
Fake
They're
communists.
one of the 5 million pests that have to be eradicated.
5 million?
Yeah, 5 million pests that have to be eradicated. We got to get rid. We got to take out the rodents.
We got to start with mosquitoes first.
Oh yeah,
mosquitoes are actually good. Okay, you want whatever.
Well, go outside, stand outside, and let them bite the shit out of you. Since they're actually,
I've gotten bitten by mosquitoes quite.
You ever been bit by one of them Southeast Asian ones?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
What do you mean? I've seen the biggest fucking mosquito. You wouldn't believe what I've seen.
Well, yeah, you did. Yeah, you are Hawaiian, so I'm.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
I do. Yeah, I do think.
Have you seen flying cockroaches land on your fucking face?
I don't want to. I hate bugs.
Yeah,
I think they should all die. Every single bug.
Another liberation comrade is offered to make Berea for us.
Fuck yeah.
What the fuck, sir? What the fuck purpose?
Thank you, cigarette enjoyer.
What the fuck purpose does mosquitoes serve for the ecosystem?
Mosquitoes are not any animal's main source of food. They would have a minimal impact on the ecosystem if they just disappeared.
Yeah, they're parasites. They're literally parasites. Who needs parasites?
I actually just made that up.
Yeah, you're making shit up. You're making shit up like vegans always do. You know? Oh my God. The tardigrades, they're so important for the ecosystem. We can't kill the tardigrades.
Y'all make your own imaginary shit about vegans, okay?
Bats.
We're just chilling.
Who needs bats? Bats carry rabies.
Bats eat moths, beetles, and flies more than they eat mosquitoes.
Bats make diseases. I'm good off bats.
Yeah, bats
we make diseases.
Bats are cute though.
But look, as a human, I'm biased towards my own species.
Right, I want to survive.
I'm not a fucking mosquito.
If you care about your own species, destroying the ecosystem isn't good for the continuation.
How is killing the mosquitoes destroying the ecosystem? They can bring diseases.
I'm not saying killing mosquitoes is bad for the ecosystem.
They give you encephalitis. You know what encephalitis is? When your brain fucking swells up.
Mosquitoes kill people more than people kill people. That's a real stat.
So, what is our reading for this week, comrades? I'm actually the only
but philosophical trends in feminism.
Yep.
Philosophical trends in the feminist movement. Yes. So to be a full-fledged member of DSA Liberation Caucus, you cannot just swear allegiance to Black Red Guard. Actually, you wouldn't do that anyways because I actually do not hold any formal leadership position in DSA Liberation Caucus.
Sure.
I don't. I'm just the guy that everybody likes. But
some people.
Likes is a strong word.
Yeah.
Tolerance.
Grudging respect. Yes, I'm just the head of crack. How do you pronounce that triple K? Crack.
It's extra hard.
Crack control.
Crackers.
Yeah. Anyways. So what do you have to do to be in liberation? You have to read for 10 weeks. Do y'all like the readings?
I love the readings.
They're really
good. Why are you fucking lying? Y'all are some lying motherfuckers.
I read ahead.
What do you mean we're lying? They're good readings. Are you just insecure? Are you insecure about the books you assigned? Are you like...
I didn't assign y'all this shit. I helped put together the list, yes.
Okay.
Right,
yeah, guys, I have no role in any of this.
I'm not. I'm just
here.
I'm just a little guy that likes to read. But yeah, this week's reading is Philosophical Trends in the Feminist Movement by Avanti. What's Avanti's real name? Anuraja Gandhi. There you go.
I forgot his name for a second.
Her. Look at Cyan running away in embarrassment.
Wait, what?
You went dark for a second. Yeah, this is what we're reading. So, how many of us have finished?
I have not finished.
I haven't either.
Boo.
Nah.
All right, you all are going to be shot after we finish. All right.
We still have 3 whole days.
In the chest only, please.
All right, so from what you all have read so far, what do you all think of it? Is it good? Is it bad?
Good.
I think it's good.
Good.
My DSA chapter is actually reading this next month, and I actually did not suggest it. It was another comrade that suggested it. But yeah, because especially in DSA, like these trends that she's talking about, liberal feminism, radical feminism, and it's not just about feminism. Like the critique of these philosophical trends can be applied because these trends also exist in the New African Liberation Movement. They exist in pretty much every movement for people's liberation that exists. Like postmodernism is not just in the feminist movement. Liberalism, radical types of stuff that's divorced from a class analysis. It's present everywhere. So this is not just useful for thinking about the feminist movement. These philosophical trends need to be criticized because if they're allowed to hold too much sway, they're going to fuck some shit up. And are we dogmatists? Like, do we think that everybody absolutely must be Maoists? No, because that's impossible. But it helps. Oh, look at Red Seder. He's finished.
That's a cool flag.
It is a very cool flag.
It's a little busy though.
Dane, is that you? Weirdo. Dane is actually another candidate comrade who designed the version of Glocky that's in the thumbnail. I'm more partial to his version. It's nice and clean.
Yeah. I'm a little messy with my Glocky. But things are messy. Things are messy.
Yeah. Maybe I should draw one. No, I don't draw one.
Don't do that, please. Do not.
Wojak Glocky incoming.
Yeah, well, Glocky is already a Wojak by definition.
Why'd you make me and Tiva seem so like tired and like dead? Like I'm curious. Like is that how we come off?
I'm a diesel mechanic. I'm already dead. So
holy shit, an actual proletarian in DSA. See, when you join Liberation, you get to hang out with the actual proletarians instead of Bernie staffers. Anyways, the very first diesel mechanic to join DSA. Anyways, the Freedom Flotilla that Christian Smalls is on. You know, a lot of people have a variety of opinions on Christian Smalls. A lot of people say he's a grifter, and yeah, I see that because he does seem to do a lot of stuff for his own aggrandizement, and his management of the whole Amazon labor union. It was basically pseudo-dictatorial. Like, yeah. But on the other hand, well, there really is no other. On the other hand, Christian Smalls is kind of a piece of shit. So let's see what's going on. He did respond to one of my tweets, which I find hilarious. But let's see what's going on.
What did he say?
Oh, I don't know. It was something criticizing his ego.
Comes as the starvation crisis and the besieged.
Skrilla, why do you keep drinking that nasty fucking soda?
I love it.
Do you have diabetes? Why are you drinking diet? First of all, it's a knockoff. Second of all, it's diet.
Why are you targeting me instead of playing the video?
I'm trying to. This is a contradiction. I want to find out the contradiction.
That's true.
Of you drinking.
We need to resolve these contradictions.
Do you got diabetes? Do you got diabetes or something?
No, but one, diet tastes better.
Diet don't taste good. Diet tastes like shit.
Yes, the fuck it does. Yes, the fuck it does.
Diet does not taste better. Are you in?
This is 0 calorie. You see that?
Yeah,
Zero.
Some people
You know,
are
I
allowed
bet
to
it's
be
empty.
wrong.
I bet it's empty, and you're just trying to look cool by drinking diet.
0 calorie, which means I can eat more food.
Yeah, so you can make your
enjoy
fucking
enjoy
chorizo and
enjoy your
eggs.
enjoy your cancer in like 15 years. You're drinking straight up aspartame.
Oh,
See,
not
it's
gonna
even
live
it's
that
even
long.
look, it's even right there in the name, aspartame. This shit drinking ass water.
oh Lord.
You can't argue with that.
Anyway,
That's a conspiracy theory.
yeah, you can't argue with me. Period. I'm always right. BRG is always right. Y'all got to learn this.
Is rapidly worsening. According to Save the Children, nearly every child in Gaza, there are more than 1.1 million, is at risk of starvation.
1.1 million kids, 1.1 million people under the age of 18 are at risk of starvation. Why? Because of Israel and because of our tax dollars and because of AOC voting to fund the Iron Dome again.
The Hanala launched from the southern port city of Gallipoli in Italy 5 days ago. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition says the boats carrying life-saving humanitarian aid and, quote, a direct political message, the blockade must end, unquote. There are 19 crew members, 2 journalists on board. Among those sailing are Chris Smalls, founder of the Amazon Labor Union, and our next guest, Huwaida Araf, a Palestinian-American human rights attorney, steering committee member of the Freedom Flotilla. She's on board the boat. Huwaida, thank you for joining us again on Democracy Now! Talk about what you faced. You said that the boat was sabotaged twice and what you're hoping to accomplish.
If y'all had the opportunity, would y'all go on one of these trips?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'd go. I've never been on a boat before in my life, but I would definitely go. Would you go, Cyan?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
at least none of us are cowards. How about chat? Would you guys go on a freedom flotilla?
If you say no, you're getting shot.
Freedom flotilla. What is it? What is your obsession with shooting people? We don't shoot people. We convince them. You want
I'm just
ruthless
projecting.
struggle.
I'm just projecting because I'm the only one that actually can't
Holy
do
shit.
that here.
A white person that doesn't know how to swim. Jesus Christ.
Skrilla
I can't
doesn't
swim
either.
either.
Skrilla.
I'll still go.
We got into a whole argument actually.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Michael Padilla would. Are you related to Alex Padilla, the California senator? He was getting protested today.
Thank you so much for having me, Amy. I recall talking to you in our first mission to try to break the siege in Gaza.
Well, it looks like we've already got our Liberation Caucus crew for the next Freedom Flotilla. Hey.
Gaza back in 2008. It's unfortunate that we are still sailing to do so because our governments have refused to act. The blockade was illegal in 2008. It is illegal and deadly and part of a genocide now. Yes, over the years that we've been sailing, Israel has repeatedly attempted to sabotage our vessels and our missions, and at times it has succeeded in delaying us, but not in stopping us. Before leaving Gallipoli on Sunday, we were subjected to 2 very serious incidents, which we are just asking for an investigation because they are very unusual, and they came on the heels of Israel announcing that it was exerting all efforts to prevent us from leaving port. The first of those was a rope that was tightly wound around the propeller of the ship. And while that's some...
These people are so brave.
Genuinely, I remember.
We ordered a water truck so that we...
I've never heard of any of these. I've heard of one of these ships was literally bombed. I think it was a Turkish ship, but I've never heard of like sabotage happening in port. It's wild.
That's
And
crazy.
it's attempted murder. Like if they hadn't been paying attention, they could have gotten on their fucking ship, could have blown up, could have gotten out of sight of land and sank. Like they're literally trying to sabotage the fucking ship. Israel, how the fuck are you going to shut off access to? And they're doing all this shit in international waters. Like Israel does not own the Mediterranean. It's fucking disgusting.
can fill the
They do have
tanks of the
impunity,
ship,
though.
the water tanks with water that we could use throughout the journey. It is 7-8 days before we reach from Gallipoli to Gaza. And instead of water, the truck brought sulfuric acid. And luckily we had not connected the hose
The truck brought sulfuric acid, so basically trying to.
to the boat. but our crew had smelled something, and when they turned on the faucet, they were splashed and burned. That could have.
Jesus Christ. So imagine if they hadn't been paying attention, nobody had been paying attention, and nobody had smelled this acid. If I recall correctly, sulfuric acid is battery acid. Diesel mechanic, is that true?
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't know.
Either way, it's nasty shit. It's nasty shit. So, and they're also shooting any Gaza that approaches the beach. Mind you, like, Israel has no right to dictate affairs in the Gaza Strip. But in practice, they're basically the owners of the Gaza Strip. Or so they think. But, like, how fucking evil do you? This is not the fucking Irish in America running weapons to the IRA. These people have a small amount of food, water, prosthetic limbs, because the Israelis love blowing off people's legs, shit like that. And you're really going to roll up a truck and make the people drink sulfuric acid. Like, imagine you get up to go wash your face in the morning and you splash your face with sulfuric acid. That's how evil these fucking people are.
Been catastrophic. So, again, Israel announced that it was trying to stop us in various ways. It has sabotaged before. We suspect it was another attempted sabotage, but we are now focusing on just getting to Gaza. We got out of port safely. Everyone is safe, and we are focused on trying to get to Gaza.
And so can you talk about what your plans are at this moment, about how many hours are you from Gaza, and compare it to the Madeleine, the ship that attempted before. Among those on that ship was Greta Thunberg, when the Israeli forces raided the ship and took everyone off and ultimately deported them.
Yes, currently we are approximately 2 days from reaching Gaza. We are less than 24 hours from the point where Israel attacked the Madeleine and abducted everyone from international waters, taking them against their will to Israel. We, over the years, Israel has tried various methods to stop us. It has been very violent, from attacking, beating, abducting, arresting, jailing, and even killing our volunteers. In 2010, a flotilla that I know you also covered and I was on, Israel killed 10 of our volunteers. But that did not stop us, and it's not going to stop us now. Yes, Israel attacked and abducted the activists aboard the Madeleine. 1 month before that, they bombed one of our ships that was preparing to leave from Malta. It actually violated European airspace to attack a civilian humanitarian vessel. And right now, we know that this is very much a possibility. This is a scenario that we may be attacked by armed, violent commando forces that will overtake our ship and abduct us all. We hope that's not the case. We've been putting out calls specifically as American citizens. A couple of days ago, we have 7 American citizens out of the 21 on this ship. We put out a call to President Trump, the U.S. government, the U.S. media, to stop enabling Israel's genocide, stop participating in the genocide. This is not what the American people want, and we are sailing in accordance with international law. Even if it wasn't acting to uphold the rights of the Palestinian people in Gaza, even if the U.S. government was not interested in refraining from participating in a genocide, the U.S. government should care about protecting the rights of U.S. citizens. We are sailing, we are civilians, we are unarmed, we are carrying humanitarian aid, and we are sailing from international waters into Palestinian waters, which Israel has no right to control. An attack on us would be an attack on American citizens. We expect.
This is kind of like demonstrating what Avanti Gandhi was saying about, like, the whole liberal framing of things, like focus on individual rights, our rights as citizens, all of that. And, like, as communists, we have to discuss and frame our discussions and our moves in the language of, like, collective rights. Like, we're doing this because the Palestinian people have the right to exist, and I see why Miss Araf is saying this, because, like, obviously nobody's going to listen to a Maoist rant from the middle of the Mediterranean Ocean, but, like, it just shows, like, what's going to probably happen is the same thing has happened to the Madeleine. They're going to storm the boat in the middle of the night, send drones, They're going to spray that weird, funky marking shit, and they're going to be dragged off to Israel, made to watch propaganda, and then flown home. So again, I really, really like these flotilla trips, but like, it's simply not enough.
I
Like,
think
the
they
stuff,
know that they're probably not going to be able to.
yeah, like they're really
Yeah.
not gonna. They're not gonna let you land in fucking. They're not gonna let you land on a fucking beach and just start offloading supplies. It would be cool if they did. Well, it'd be cool if Israel fucking disappeared tomorrow. But as dialectical materialists, we know that that's not going to happen. Why? Because the United States, their sponsor, is not going to let them disappear. So that's why both the United
Also,
States and Israel have to disappear.
I get what she's saying with the optimism. In a perfect world, the United States would care about its citizens, but as we've seen throughout history, just look at the 1980s move bombing. Like, they don't care. They don't give a fuck about you.
No.
Whether you're an international or you're domestic, they're not going to give a fuck. They're going to let you die.
I mean, you can even go all the way back to 2003 with Rachel Corrie. Like,
Yeah,
US
ran a
citizens
girl over with a bulldozer.
don't care.
My parents
Nothing-
are still
nothing
part of
about it.
Our parents are really, really active in the Palestinian solidarity movement in Seattle, which I think is where she's from. But like, yeah, like they do not, like, if you do not toe their line, like, just both Palestinian American and Israeli Americans have been killed over there. But do you see politicians? Do you see John Fetterman's schlumpy ass wearing a Palestinian flag? No, but you see him wearing that ugly yellow ribbon for the hostages. And they're not even hostages, they're prisoners of war. But you like, it's just sickening and disgusting and maddening, the double standard. Like, if something happened to anybody here, like, they wouldn't give a fuck, because for one, we're black and brown, and for two, we are communists. So yeah, we're basically like,
And
We're
they
fucked.
probably were behind it.
yeah, exactly.
And to see people like AOC and shit defending this shit is just so embarrassing for DSA as an organization.
Yeah,
And
she should have been thrown out. She should have been thrown out a long time ago. Speaking of that, you guys remember that explosion that killed those 3 sheriff's deputies yesterday? Apparently, somebody stole a grenade. So we've got loose grenades going around.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
I hope they use it well.
For the low cost of $50 and a bunch of federal paperwork, you too can own a hand grenade.
Oh, I'm gonna get on that.
Unfortunately, also, you got a tax stamp. And I'm not paying that goddamn tax stamp.
Yeah.
So, speaking of AOC's janky ass, there's a petition that Liberation Caucus has is co-sponsoring with, like, AOC sucks so bad that she's got DSA trots and DSA Maoists working together.
How many signatures left?
We reached 500 a few hours ago, and now the call is to get to 1,000. So basically, the goal is to get enough DSA members, particularly convention delegates, to sign this petition, which I'm going to link here. Please do not sign this petition if you are not a DSA member. But yeah, is to hopefully try to, well, for one, it's list building, but also to get enough people to pay attention, enough people on the NPC to pay attention, so that there can be a meeting to discuss this Iron Dome vote. Because, like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of DSA's name being mud. You can't sign it. You're not a DSA member, you stupid Serb. Anyways, I will sign petition. Black man asked me to sign petition. I will sign petition. I only know how to make X, but I will sign petition because black man probably plays basketball very good, and I want him to help Serbia build new basketball team. Anyways,
I don't know who you're LARPing right now, but you're
Serbians. So, DSA issued a statement. It's actually a pretty good statement. Yesterday, the U.S. Congress once again increased spending on war instead of the services and protections that working people desperately need. In a vote of 221 to 209, Congress approved House Resolution 4016, the Department of Defense Appropriations Act, sending a staggering $831.5 billion. $831.5 billion to the Pentagon. This money will be used to fund militarism abroad and Israel's ongoing genocide of the Palestinian people. Democratic Socialists of America stand in unwavering solidarity with the Palestinian people in their ongoing struggle for liberation and against the United States-backed Israeli genocide in Gaza. This means opposing any and all funding to Israel as it continues its genocide, including a full arms embargo. An arms embargo means keeping all arms out of the hands of a genocidal military. No exceptions. This is why we oppose Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's vote against an amendment that would block $500 million in funding for the Israeli military's Iron Dome program. While the Congresswoman voted against the defense appropriations bill itself, voting against funding for the Israeli military industrial complex and the Israeli genocide, we were further deeply disappointed by her clarifying statement on her position regarding the Iron Dome. Along with other U.S.-funded interceptor systems, the Iron Dome has emboldened Israel to invade or bomb no less than 5 different countries in the past 2 years. Providing any aid to Israel as they carry out a genocide with U.S. support is completely unacceptable. This is even more true of military aid of any kind. Any funds that go to Israel help assist this brutal genocide. Any support for Israel legitimizes its elimination, its campaign against the Palestinian people. The fact that Representative Ocasio-Cortez acknowledges that Israel is carrying out this genocide makes her support for military aid all the more disappointing and incongruous. It's not in Congress. Yeah, it's not in Congress. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing. She does not give a fuck about Palestine. She gives a fuck about
her career.
Her career, launching a failed, and let's be real. Even if they use AOC, they do not trust AOC.
Yeah, they're not going to.
No, they are not going to, because they do not trust AOC, and they sure as fuck do not trust. This is why I always laugh when people say that DSA is an arm of the Democratic Party. Democrats hate us. The Democrats do not trust DSA. She's not going to get a presidential nomination. The best she's going to get is maybe a low-level cabinet position, maybe Health and Human Services in a John Fetterman or Gavin Newsom administration.
She's not going to be assistant.
Yeah, she's not going to be fucking. They're not going to let her be fucking president. They're not going to. And the fact that certain people continue to want to drag us along with our wish casting. That's why I'm voting against that stupid resolution. It's like, run a socialist candidate for president in 2028 for what? Like, you have no analysis. Like, have you read State and Revolution? Why the fuck would you want a socialist to campaign for and win leadership of a country with an $851 billion military budget? Like, even if you cut it, the powers that be are not going to let you do away with the United States military. They're not going to allow you to dismantle peacefully American imperialism. There's too much money.
Immediate military coup. Immediate
military coup. You don't think they'll launch one here? Think again. They almost overthrew fucking FDR. Look up the business plot. And FDR wasn't even a socialist. Like, Mussolini literally said that his shit was basically the New Deal on steroids. But even then, they tried to recruit Smedley Butler to launch a military coup against FDR. They will do that. They do not give a fuck. If you start fucking with their money, and they're so slick, like, they will have you thinking, why do you think that people like AOC and Jamal Bowman are paraded as real dyed-in-the-wool Reds in the first place? Because they want you, like, that's the opposition that they want.
That's how they take the teeth away from the movement, and they've done that consistently throughout history.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. You guys think Mamdani's going to do that?
So I think Mamdani is a lot more principled than AOC. But I think that the stress of being in power will force him to moderate, like heavily moderate.
Plus, and the fact that sorry, go ahead.
The people that he keeps surrounding himself with, like, he's literally went and hired Obama-era White House officials for his staff. Like, he's not hiring DSA people. He's hiring Obama-era Democratic wonks. Yeah. So those people are going to be in his ears. They're going to be like, look, stop talking about the socialist shit. You need to get ready to actually run New York City, and you need to get ready to make the money people happy. That's all this shit is about, making the money people happy. So my guess is, I hate to throw salt in the guy's game, but my guess is Zaran is probably going to be a one-term lame duck.
Yeah. And, like, honestly, it's kind of sad to see, like, people getting elected from DSA, and, like, the fact that, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people have their own thing. Like, Skrill and Tiva and I talked about this earlier about, like, how technically, like, Mamdani's like, I won't defund the police, but I'll make them nicer, right? Like having like black and brown kids being harassed and abused by a DSA elected, that shit's bad for us, you know? Like I get that argument for sure.
Yeah. I would say like our strategy should be like focus on Rust Belt cities. Focus on like smaller cities. Focus on and then like don't try to catch the executive right away. Try to get a majority on the board of aldermen or city council or whatever you call it, so that you won't. So that if you get elected, if we elect the mayor, they're not consistently being obstructed. And like the thing is, like when you get people elected on these platforms, and you're not able to go through with them, the people are gonna be like, okay, so y'all are full of shit just like everybody else. Well, I'm not voting for you. I voted for you last time, and you fucked us over. And it doesn't make much sense to be like, well, the board of aldermen, no, you promised us this. They're like the people that need to be mobilized for the Zorans, for the DSA candidates, are the people who, by and large, don't vote. And people generally don't vote because why? Because when they vote, nothing really changes. The hood looked like shit under Obama. The hood looked like shit under Trump. The hood looked like shit under Biden. The hood is going to look like shit under AOC if she's gets herself elected president.
I think
Yeah, but she'll say it doesn't.
the first female president in the U.S. is going to be a Republican, and I'm putting my money on Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Like if they're gonna let a woman be president,
I just
fuck
saw a
is it,
crazy-
C-SPAN?
crazy profile picture.
No, man, you're not calling in just because. Look at you. Well, why is that how your head is shaped?
Okay, you know what? Why don't you take off your hat? Take off your fucking hat, then.
You look like
If
a
you're gonna
young
say that
Republican. Fuck no. Fuck you.
shit. That's not as bad as I thought.
that's a perfect egg.
Yes, it's a perfectly shaped egg. Don't make fun of my egghead. You're casing New Haven. All right. So why did we join DSA? Like, I know why I joined DSA. I joined DSA because the 2023 convention. It actually, I was like a lot of people. I thought, these people are full of shit. They're sock dems. They're not doing anything serious. But then I saw like more and more shit happening, and I saw like, wow. You have people that talk about this getting elected to the National Political Committee. Okay, that's dope. So that's why I joined. I'm like, this is a trench of struggle, just like anywhere else. Like if you're a Maoist or an ML or whatever, and you do not like, you don't want to engage with the largest amalgamation of people that call themselves socialists. Like you really just want like a little fucking cult. That's what you want. And if that's what you want, that's fine. I hope y'all don't drink poisonous Kool-Aid, but like if you just want like a fucking no, he's a communist. Let the man speak. No.
How do you do Collins?
Huh?
Nah, never mind. I don't care.
You have to send the link in there. I don't know you.
Everyone watching this is a communist, okay? Like, are we just
I
gonna
don't
let
know.
400 people?
It could be.
No, Jeb Bush could be watching this.
Yeah.
That's
There's
true.
probably a
Well,
couple
Jeff-
people watching. Let's not lie.
Having Jeb Bush on would definitely do numbers for the algorithm. Like we literally made national news 2 weeks after we launched.
Yeah.
So that definitely made people know
Phenomenal.
who we were.
If
Yeah,
he hops
definitely
in,
phenomenal.
if Jeff Bush hops in, we're just gonna tell him to kill himself until he
No,
leaves.
please clap.
Sign, I'm gonna strangle you.
You don't want. Okay, you know what? If you don't want Jeff Bush to,
You cannot say those 3 words.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
In that order.
This is YouTube
Himself kill.
Yeah, what's fucking
He
wrong
would
with
tell
you?
himself.
or Twitch or whatever you're watching on.
Why did I join DSA? Definitely not because of what they are doing or what they were doing at the
You're
time.
part of the they.
Now I am. But previously, I had held off on joining for a while. I just didn't like what I was seeing. The organizations that I was active in, we were doing more direct community work. Actually, what at the time I considered actually making a difference versus canvassing and trying to get people elected and things of that nature. But I joined because I see what can be done and what needs to be done. And who else is going to do that other than us? The principled people, the Maoists, the Marxist Leninists that hold true to the ideology versus reformists that get wish-washy and flip-flop and always give ground to somebody that wants to take from them. So I think we need to work towards having an actual hard party line. Stop with all of this. I don't even know how to word it. I want to say get rid of the big tent, but that would be frowned upon. But
They
yeah,
wanna kill us.
we need to
Liberation,
put
they
the
wanna get
work
rid of
in.
all of us.
We need to put
If you
the work
say,
in.
if you get rid of the big tent, then we're going to be thrown out.
Right, we're
We're
going
part
to
of
be
the
the first
big
ones. We're going to be the first ones.
They're already plotting it. They wanted us out like 2 weeks after we started because
No, they wanted us. Yeah, like they were literally spamming a member of the NPC. Like, can
I
you
saw
please throw
that.
these people out? Can you please throw these people out? Like, we didn't even break any rules. It was
we
signing
need
a
to-
petition, for fuck's sake.
We need to do the work, obviously, and there's a lot of work to be done to bring people over to our line, or not even just bring them to our line, but to have them see what needs to be done, whether they agree with it 100% or not. As long as they're doing the work to lay the foundation, that would be preferable to phone banking and canvassing and then calling it a day.
Even phone banking and canvassing, like if it's guided by a revolutionary line, that those things can still be useful. Like it's
Yeah.
good to develop lists of people that agree with us or can be mobilized. But like if you're just doing that as strategy, no, that's not good.
Yeah.
Skrilla, why did you join DSA?
All right, so I've held my beliefs for a very, very long time, but never really decided to act on them up until my girlfriend was like, hey, I don't feel safe. I feel in danger. So I was like, okay, I need to get active and I need to understand what I can do to make sure she doesn't feel this way or make sure other people don't feel this way. I looked around my area and I'm from Northwest Indiana. You know, I live right outside Chicago. To have to travel to Chicago every time something's happening, it'd be inconvenient. It wouldn't be the best. So I looked local. DSA was there. First, I was like, hey, I'm a little abrasive of DSA just because like I've heard so much shit about DSA. Looked into it. My chapter was led by like someone in Red Star, and I fuck with Red Star. So I was like, all right, we cool. I went to one of the general meetings and immediately joined. All them people are cool. And plus they're in coalition with everyone else in the local area. So it's like we all interconnected with that. DSA, just in general, I feel like if you're in any area, because it's so big, it's going to be the most influential org you're going to join. It's going to be the one with the most people in it. It's going to be the one with the most wide group of people, both ideologically and background. You're going to have the best diversity of tactics, and you're going to have the best amount of people that are able to reach out to different groups of people. Compare that to some little ass book club, that bunch of nerds that ain't never even talked to no one. Like, they ain't doing shit. DSA is where it is. That's where you're going to actually find action.
Cyan, if I recall correctly, you were apprehensive about joining DSA until that whole
really apprehensive.
Until that whole petition thing.
Until the whole oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, just because like I don't know. Like the tide for me started to shift when it came to DSA, like especially YDSA after I saw the really good shit that YDSA was doing. Like I was working with SJP at UC Berkeley during the encampments, and I saw YDSA people there helping out. They actually cared about the cause. Some of them were really lived out and didn't, but some of them did. And that's DSA diversity.
Berkeley is basically, UC Berkeley is like the spiritual home of the American Maoist movement, right?
No, yeah.
We have a Bob Eviction and all those other
weirdos. UCB YDSA is basically just the youth wing of the Communist Party of what we will have in a few years. But why did I actually join? Yeah, I was kind of just like, I was always apprehensive to DSA. I joined a few meetings. A little bit before, there was like this resolution in the East Bay chapter that was about like developing an independent party line, and especially one that was anti-Zionist. And it failed, which turned me off DSA a little more. But then I saw there were chillers in there. That's you guys. Well, okay, I don't know about chillers, but I don't know. You guys are cool. So
you're part of the you guys. So, what? So besides philosophical trends, what is everybody reading this week? I found this really, really. I used to be like a big kites junkie, and I've reread this article when we write on our enemies. It's basically like how various communist parties were able to like root themselves in cities, and it spends a lot of time in particular on the PCP, which I know Comrade Skrilla is in particularly a big fan of. Yeah.
Wait, you said this is called what?
This is called When We Ride on Our Enemies. It's in Kite's journal. I'm going to put it in chat. Yeah, I know you are like, I have an instinctive distrust of Gonzaloites, but you can be a pet Gonzaloite. You're not even a Gonzaloite. You're just an edgelord. But yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend you check it out. It's like one thing about the Shining Path is that technically they almost won. And if it hadn't been for that fucked up Jefe Tura, like Gonzalo is the eagle of our party, like if they had actually had a second string of people that were actually ready to take over the party and they didn't implode after Gonzalo was captured, they probably would have taken over Peru. Of course, what they would have done in Peru is a matter of debate. My guess is it would have probably ended up like my take is that they would have either had to like greatly moderate their positions, otherwise they would have been international pariahs because they wouldn't have been able to trade with the Chinese, they wouldn't have been able to trade with Europe, they wouldn't have been able to trade with the US. So their economy would have been screaming a bit, and their people would have been taking up arms against them. So they would have had to like by necessity moderate, especially after Gonzalo died. Or they would have ended up being like some type of weird, fucked up autarky like North Korea. I don't know. But they almost won. They need to be studied. I mean, technically, they didn't synthesize Maoism, but they played a heavy role in like codifying the Maoism that we uphold in DSA Liberation. But no, DSA, we are not the Red Guards coming in. We're not going to be jumping on people at meetings. What are the rest of you reading?
I'm actually picked back up Politics in Command. I had started a couple weeks ago, and then I started reading through like 2 or 3 different books, and then got caught up in the coursework. So,
Congo Diary episodes of the Revolutionary War in the Congo. I'm at the part where Shay got the shits. Yeah. We kept trying to incorporate Congolese into our little army and to give them rudimentary military training so that this nucleus might save the most important thing, the soul, the life of the revolution. But those charged with imparting the divine breath, us Cubans, had an even weaker grip on it ourselves. The effects of the climate were still being felt as gastroenteritis was added to the endemic malaria. Until the rigors of the task got the better of my scientific spirit, I noted in my field diary my own statistics. I had the shits more than 30 times in 24 hours. That's what happens.
Yo.
What happens when
did he
you
wash his ass though?
That's what happens when you. Shay's personal hygiene habits were notoriously
Atrocious.
Bad.
Yeah.
very
He did not wash his
non-Maoist.
ass.
That's what happens when you go to the jungle, my brother.
There's leaves and
Ooh.
shit. I don't know.
I'm reading something similar right now, actually.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm reading.
Where's my fucking Jasinski? Iron Felix, where are you? Yeah, I was reading Zerzinski's prison diaries. I don't know where they're at, though.
That man was a master of escaping like prison camps.
Yeah.
That man was Houdini.
No, he was Zerzinski. God damn it. There's one thing I'm good at besides getting books, it's losing books. Where the fuck is my Dzerzhinsky?
No, recently I've been reading Memoirs of an Italian Terrorist by Giorgio.
You're an Italian terrorist? I did that.
Skrilla left
It was
Chimera.
Plead the fifth.
no, he was a Marxist-Leninist. He was a member of the Red Brigades back in the 1970s.
Have you read Strike One to Educate 100?
I haven't.
You should. I think you'll really like that one. It's basically like an overview of the Brigate Rosi. I lent it actually to an Italian friend, an Italian comrade in St. Louis. He never gave it back. Why? Because he's Italian. You do not need to be reading out a sheet. This book is for Italians only. Oh yeah, Georgia's Abdallah was freed today.
I saw that.
We're gonna have a celebratory.
A celebratory fucking a drink. Yeah.
Non-alcoholic. It's tea.
Oh shit! Give me a quick second.
Oh, they found out you've been
It's
reading
a
bad books.
long-awaited homecoming. Celebrations erupt at this airport in Beirut as crowds hail the arrival of pro-Palestinian militant George Abdallah, following his release after more than 40 years behind bars in France. It's the longest incarceration in France's recent history.
It's a great day for us, people supporting the Palestinian cause all over the world. We are happy that finally George Abdallah is free.
We thank him for the sacrifice he made for all of us. It was a sacrifice for freedom, and he has turned into an icon that inspires us all to believe that our sacrifices are not in vain. Despite all the hard times and all the defeats, that our sacrifices will be fruitful for the coming generations, so that we can achieve freedom and justice for Palestine. For many in Lebanon, George Abdallah was a political prisoner. The now 74-year-old had been serving a life sentence in France for complicity in the murders of 2 diplomats, 1 American and 1 Israeli, in 1982.
So
We are just learning.
I don't give a shit about any of that. They're gonna be edging us with these Epstein files forever. So there's actually a really good who is George's, how do you pronounce that? Georges Abdallah? I don't speak French. I do not speak that guttural trash. Georges Abdallah. Anyways, he's out now. But why did they keep this guy in jail for so long? Let's find out. There we go. Best of Marks coming in clean clutch.
He's been behind bars for over 4 decades.
I need a cigarette. Do any of you comrades smoke cigarettes? Don't ever start. They're bad.
Steve and I were just talking about this. What brand do you smoke?
Marlboro Blacks.
Do you smoke the
smoke
shorts or
Reds.
hundreds?
Shorts.
Why? You get
Longer
less
than
than the same price.
Because fuck you. That's why.
Every time I smoke
As
a
Mandela
American...
was. In fact, no convicted Nazi was imprisoned for such a long time, with the exception of Hitler's deputy, Rudolf Hess. Last week, the Court of Appeal of Paris ordered his release, which is scheduled for 25th of July, the day of this video's upload. Under one condition, that he be permanently expelled from French territory and deported to Lebanon. His lawyer fears that he might get killed by an Israeli drone when he returns to Lebanon, as already happened with others who returned there. Jailed for allegedly being involved in the killing of a US and Israeli diplomat in Paris, the Lebanese pro-Palestine activist could have been released since 1999, but the French government repeatedly intervened to stop his release. But why? Over the years, more and more information has surfaced, revealing the full extent of the behind-the-scenes scheming that kept him in prison. A former French intelligence chief described the case against him as an orchestrated intelligence conspiracy, one which involved the most powerful politicians and institutions. Earlier this year, his release was again postponed. Government officials referred to the volatile political situation, meaning the war against Lebanon and the genocide in Gaza, arguing that early or ill-timed release could have dangerous implications. In Lebanon, he's considered a hero. In Palestine, a comrade. and in much of the world, a prisoner of conscience. This is the story of Georges Ibrahim Abdallah, a Lebanese Marxist who dedicated his life to the Palestinian cause and became a target of Western governments. His case has mobilized hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, with support surging dramatically since Israel's genocide in Gaza. Since October 7th, the French government banned several organizations in solidarity with Abdallah. A statement by the domestic French intelligence agency said, "An emblematic figure in the anti-Zionist struggle, the release of Georges Abdallah would undoubtedly constitute an event in Lebanon. He will probably be celebrated as a hero on his return to his country, but also by different movements engaged in revolutionary struggles." Who was Georges Abdallah? Why is he so important for both the Palestine movement and the Western governments? What was his role in the so-called Lebanese civil war that started in the 70s, his involvement in a certain Palestinian liberation front, and in the turbulent years of bombing and assassinations in Paris? And why did Israel and the US pressure France to silence him at any cost? Watch to find out why Georges Abdallah's freedom terrifies the West to this day.
I think it's just you and me in here, Skrilla.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to Tiva.
The topics I cover aren't favored by the algorithm. They often get suppressed or buried. That's why your support is crucial, whether it's liking, sharing, commenting, or supporting my Patreon to help me keep going.
The One Piece.
It makes a real difference in helping this content reach more people. Thank you for being here. In October of 1984, Georges Ibrahim Abdallah, who lived in Switzerland at the time, went to Lyon in France to get a deposit for a rented apartment. There, he noticed two men following him around, suspecting they were agents from the Mossad. Turns out they were from French surveillance, which had been monitoring him for some time. On that day, they arrested him for carrying a fake Algerian passport. Abdallah was seen as a top figure of the FARL, a Marxist-Leninist guerrilla group demanding French forces leave Lebanon. The only charge the authorities could prove was his use of false travel documents. The group's members, in order to pressure his release, kidnapped the French diplomat in Lebanon. Then, the French intelligence agency struck a deal with the FARL, and they released the diplomat. However, in an unexpected turn of events, French authorities claimed they discovered a gun and explosives in an apartment linked to Abdallah. And
pretty sure Tiva just called himself a Mossad prop.
In 1987, French prosecutors charged him with complicity in the assassination of Israeli diplomat Yakov Barsimentov, who was killed by a female gunman in 1984, and in the killing of Lieutenant Colonel Charles Ray, a decorated Vietnam War veteran, and officially a US military attaché in France. As later revealed, Ray's role in France extended well beyond his official title. Although the prosecutors requested no more than 10 years, the court gave him a life sentence, typically 15 to 20 years in France. Something weird was happening behind the scenes. While police said he led the FARL, senior French intelligence officials questioned the significance of his role at the time. By 1999, Abdallah had served enough time to be considered for early release. Since then, multiple French courts have ruled in favor of his release, but each time, the French state blocked it. 2 years later, Abdallah's former lawyer admitted he had been recruited by French intelligence to spy on his client.
I thought you were talking
Diplomatic
about
cables released by WikiLeaks reveal that, despite his health significantly worsening since 2007, the US State Department under Hillary Clinton repeatedly intervened to ensure he remained behind bars. In 2012, Abdallah was again granted parole. A year later, according to the leaked documents, Hillary Clinton personally called the French foreign minister
that face
to pressure
makes me
French
murderous.
authorities in finding a way to block the court's decision to release him. The interior minister ultimately complied and refused to sign the deportation order. Why was the US so adamant about repeatedly blocking his release? To give a more complete answer, we need to go back in time and learn about the so-called Lebanese civil war in the 70s and Georges Abdallah's role in it. After the ethnic cleansing of 1948 and the Zionist occupation after 1967, the Palestinian Fida'in, emerging out of the destitute refugee camps, had established themselves in the surrounding Arab countries. 400,000 of these refugees now lived in Lebanese camps, where the Palestine Liberation
Loggy, I swear to
Organization,
God.
short PLO, became so powerful that its presence was described as a state within the state. After the war between the PLO and the Jordanian British collaborator monarchy in 1970, the center of the Palestinian Fida'i shifted from Jordan to Lebanon. Just as in Jordan, the Palestinian refugee community there would link up with local revolutionary groups in their mission to liberate Palestine, and thus proved a danger to the ruling collaborator class in Lebanon. The Lebanese masses cared deeply about the Palestinian cause, and many would join the ranks of the Palestinian guerrillas. Among them, a young guy from a Maronite Christian family, born in 1951 in a village in northern Lebanon. His name, George Ibrahim Abdallah. The war in Lebanon between
How was the
1970
SIG?
I sure as fuck hope you weren't posting revisionism while I was gone.
My bad.
I sure
There we
hope you weren't fucking misbehaving. What were y'all up to? I go to get a soda and y'all were
Nothing. Tiva left. Skrilla.
I
there
didn't
was a
leave.
naked person in the background. Of
I didn't leave.
Skrilla's.
The
Skrilla
US
had a what?
government
There was
set
a
off an
naked person in the
EMP next door.
background.
Wait, who had a naked person in the background? Jesus Christ! Y'all are gonna get me banned. Y'all gonna fuck up my whole. See, you can't take Maoists everywhere. You cannot take Maoists anywhere.
You can take me anywhere.
Just lumping fucking.
My girlfriend walked by.
Lumping fucking gutter rats.
That was just my
1985 and
girlfriend at work.
1990 is frequently painted as a civil war between different religious communities, which masks the underlying colonialist and imperialist roots for the tragedy.
This soda is fucking hot.
The French
you
colonial
drinking?
mandate entrenched a sectarian political system designed to
Huh? Sprite. I don't drink off-brand soda like Skrilla's trifling ass.
preserve
you
the
drinking a
ruling
Celsius
Maronite
this
Christian
late?
class dominance.
Huh?
So why is Cyan drinking a Celsius this late?
He just had one.
It helps
He's
me
gonna ruin-
sleep. It helps me sleep.
You're gonna
Fair.
ruin your kid. You're gonna ruin your kidneys.
Mike,
You're gonna go to sleep for good.
what do the kidneys do again? I'm just joking. They like
This
help
isn't
you
Coke,
shit.
though. This is Sam's Cola. This isn't Coke.
Which
Anti-revolutionary
was aligned
soda.
with Western powers,
True.
marginalizing and economically excluding the significant Muslim minority and working class, favoring the rich, centered in Beirut's banking and service sectors. The PLO's armed presence in the refugee camps and the Lebanese left's support for Palestine and working class liberation threatened these pro-Western elites, which is why the US, France, and Israel started
The old mayor of St. Louis, Francis Slay, he was a Maronite.
supplying arms and intelligence to the notorious Phalange.
Boo.
The Phalangist party was led by
These fuckers actually
That's actually
like
a bone in your finger. Phalanges.
power-
this phalange, not phalange.
powerful Jmayel family with close ties to France and Israel. Pierre Jmayel had modeled the party after the Francoist Falange of Spain, the Nazis and Italian fascists, adopting brown shirts and the fascist salute. The PLO correctly accused the CIA of helping the Falangist militias procure weapons from European black markets, and was convinced that Henry Kissinger was instigating the chaos about to come in order to exclude the PLO from the ongoing so-called peace process in favor of Jordan. It's rarely mentioned that Israel started airstriking Lebanon already before the official outbreak of the war in 1975 to crush Fatah land, the PLO guerrilla power zones in the south. Meanwhile, the Lebanese opposition united under the Lebanese National Movement, short LNM.
This is how we're gonna have to dress. Everybody go get a trucker jacket.
I have a plaid shirt.
Yep, we're going back to 1981, fellas.
Let's
communists
go.
and progressives. Its general secretary was Muhsin Ibrahim. If you remember, we already talked about him in my video about the PFLP, the Popular.
Where is this person from? What type of accent is this? German?
I don't know. All the videos he makes are about the Middle East, though.
Deutsch.
Oh,
Makes me think he could be. Never mind.
maybe Kurdish. I don't know.
I was gonna say Turkish
Oh,
because
no.
you said German accent.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kurds in Turkey. I mean, there's a lot of Kurds. There's lots of Kurds in Germany.
Liberation of Palestine.
Neither of them want them.
The PFLP, as part of the PLO, will
Well, maybe Turkey should grant self-determination to the Kurds.
also fight and ally with the LNM and attract many young Lebanese
So I hear German and I hear Swedish. Same thing.
to their ranks. Among them, a secondary school teacher, George Abdallah.
What is it with teachers and becoming communist revolutionaries? You've got Mao, you've got Abdallah, you've got I think Uncle Ho was a teacher.
Saw the reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In early 1975, rising discrimination against Muslims and the assassination of a Sunni leader were among the events that triggered unrest. But total escalation began when Falangist militiamen ambushed a bus carrying Palestinians from the Tal al-Za'atar refugee camp and massacred 27 people.
You know, more black and brown people speak French than like actual French people in France.
I know that pisses them off.
Yeah, more Africans. Yeah, more Africans. There's more Africans that speak French than actual white French people in France.
The LNM and their Palestinian allies called for the isolation and a boycott of the Falange party and retaliated with armed action. But the leader of the PLO...
We have like 15 Phalanges in the United States. Like all these little right-wing militias and shit. They're all mini Phalanges.
We have 3 in our fingers. Each one.
Arafat was hesitant and secretly broke the boycott by sending his chief bodyguard to negotiate with the Falange in the hopes of preventing escalation as part of the diplomatic strategy his circle had started pursuing from the 70s, a strategy the PFLP will call the start of Palestinian betrayal. Arafat didn't see political meddling in other countries as helpful for the Palestinian cause, but for George Abdallah and the PFLP, it was essential to overthrow the Zionist collaborator ruling class of Lebanon and other Arab reactionary regimes, as this was crucial for liberating Palestine. And it was this outlook, not the one of Arafat, which was so dangerous to Western imperialism. Due to the brutal Israeli invasion in 1978 and increasing surveillance from Lebanese and Western-backed intelligence networks, many militants left Lebanon for Paris. In March, head of the PFLP external operations, Wadi Haddad, was assassinated by the Mossad, and it was during this fallout when George Abdallah founded the Lebanese Armed Revolutionary Factions, FARL, largely made up of leftist Maronite Christian background Lebanese and inspired by urban guerrilla groups at the time, with whom they will soon connect and learn from. Abdallah saw how the war in Lebanon exposed the colonial and class alliances between the reactionary Arab regimes, Zionism, and Western imperialism, and that damaging imperialism anywhere directly contributes to the liberation of Palestine. This lesson Abdallah will take with him to the heart of the empire. In 1982, Israel invaded Lebanon once more. The US backed the operation and stationed Marines in Beirut. The Palestinian
that ended well.
Factions were forced to relocate and rebuild, leaving a vacuum of resistance, soon to be filled by the Party of God. That same year, the notorious Sabra and Shatila massacre took place, where thousands of Palestinian refugees were slaughtered by Falangist militias with the complicity of the IDF. For the FARL, it was time to strike back. At the time, The French capital served as a strategic internationalist hub for both refuge and the opportunity for organizing anti-imperialist operations, particularly in solidarity with Palestine. The FARL now acted both in Lebanon as part of the successor front to the LNM and in Western Europe, where they will claim responsibility for coordinating 7 attacks in France as retaliation for French imperialism and support for Zionism in Lebanon. The FARL asked in a statement, "Who are the terrorists? Is it them, or is it, quote, those who kill a young West Bank Palestinian because he resists the annexation of his country by Israel, those who bomb the civilian population in southern Lebanon?" Abdallah never denied his role in the anti-imperialist struggle, but the evidence for his direct involvement in the killings was never proven. Still, he always refused to apologize and to renounce his views. When he was sentenced for life, he told the court, quote, "If the people have not entrusted me with the honor of participating in these anti-imperialist actions that you attribute to me, at least I have the honor of being accused of them by your court and of defending their legitimacy in the face of the criminal legitimacy of their executioners." In 2012, the Lebanese Prime Minister went to Paris and asked the French government to let his compatriot Abdallah out of prison, calling him a political prisoner. The French court in charge of terrorism cases was ready to agree, but the ministry's political will was missing. What does it mean to be a political prisoner?
God, Paris looks like shit. Look at that place. It's crowded. It stinks.
Infested with rats.
What was all the
infested with
colonialism
rats.
for?
Yeah, people shit in the river.
People speak French.
That's true.
Let's not get out of hand now.
That's a crazy statement.
Place looks fucking. It just looks gross. It's a 2,000-year-old city, and it's built on top of dead bodies. Like they've got like thousands of people in catacombs underneath the city. You built a city on top of dead bodies.
Do not insult our people.
We bury them over. Where are we supposed to do? Throw them in the river? We busy catacomb. We charge you many dollar, many euro to come look at the dead body underneath the city. And you, Mr. Black Man, why do you always talk shit on the French? We are good people. You are racist against French people. You cannot do that. Now, if I call you racial slur, then you will cry and you will be like anti-black. But you make fun of the French. We help you. We are taking the uranium and the gold because it is reparation for helping you.
Let's look at the example of a baguette Nazi, Maurice Papon. Papon was found guilty in 1990.
A baguette Nazi. There is no such thing. We did not work with the Nazi. We did not work with the Nazi. We fought against the Nazi. This is nonsense. You are slandering the great French people.
If it weren't for the French,
helping the...
If it wasn't for the French, who would colonize Africa?
Poured over 1,000 Jews to Nazi concentration.
If it wasn't for the French, the uranium and the gold in Mali and Niger and Senegal, it would be took by Russia and China. You want to be slave of Russia and China? You want to be slave of civilized French?
Why are you so good at this? Do you practice? Like in front of a mirror?
He was jailed.
No.
In 1999, but was released in 2002 because of...
See, we are humanitarian. We arrest him and we put him in jail for 41 years and then we let him go because we are civilized. If he was in America, he would be in prison forever. But because of French mercy, you people, you are never satisfied.
Poor health. Before that, he held top...
Who made the first revolution? It was French people. You talk always of Russia, but we were the one who got rid of King. We built guillotine and we chop off a Louis head. But you never say thank you for making revolution. You always talk about colonialism.
Positions in post-war France, including Paris police chief and cabinet minister. While being a police chief, he oversaw the 1961 Paris massacre, where up to 200 Algerian protesters were killed. Many.
Also, I don't know how much you all know about World War II history, but like the one thing that Winston Churchill and FDR agreed on was that de Gaulle sucked. Like nobody liked that guy. Nobody liked him. Like he was just an arrogant piece of shit.
You gotta
Like
be pretty
they printed,
bad for
As French are.
yeah,
As
like
many
they
French
printed, yeah, and like the Allies, like they printed like money for the French to use after they invaded, and de Gaulle was like, "You are making counterfeit money, and you are going to ruin our economy. How are you going to invade my country and bring counterfeit money to ruin the French economy? Like, bro, your country is under occupation. I think funky money should be the last of your concerns."
Drowned in the Seine. Why has Abdallah spent over 10 times longer in prison than a Hitlerite responsible for far greater crimes? This cannot be answered by looking at the law, but at the politics.
Because the French are Nazis.
Israel consistently framed Abdallah as a continuing security threat through coordination with the US Department of Justice and the Office of External Litigation. Israeli concerns were elevated to a high priority in the US's diplomatic pressure strategy. In cables with the US, the French Security Service was quoted advising judges that Abdallah's release would be destabilizing and dangerous. Throughout the 70s and 80s, several Palestinian officials in Europe were assassinated through the involvement of the Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency, which, of course, enjoyed total impunity. Though the official role of one of the killed, James Ray, was listed as Assistant Army Attaché, in reality, it was reported that this function served as a cover for CIA or DIA operatives, especially during the Cold War. So locking George Abdallah behind bars is not merely about punishing a militant. It is part of a broader war between imperialism and anti-imperialism. For the United States, keeping him imprisoned serves to equate anti-imperialist resistance with terrorism. Releasing him would shatter that narrative, undermine years of propaganda, and represent a symbolic concession to armed struggle, an outcome that would damage the aura of imperial authority and expose the fiction of the peaceful liberal order. The French ruling class shares these anxieties. Abdallah has long been supported by leftist, anti-colonial, and pro-Palestinian networks in France. His release could re-energize revolutionary organizing, especially among immigrant, working-class communities, already critical of France's colonial legacy and repressive, racist domestic policies. Israel knows and fears that Abdallah's freedom would further validate armed resistance as a legitimate response to occupation.
Did y'all know Netanyahu like speaks English fluently with the Philly accent?
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah,
It is so fucking. It is so fucking. It is so fucking surreal. Like this guy
have you
has
seen
like
that recent interview with the Nelk Boys?
That shit. Don't even get me started.
Was that the one?
That shit was terrible.
Was that the one where he said that he likes Burger King?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, why do you keep? Why do people keep platforming these horrible people? Like
They gave him fucking. He gave the Nelk Boys a list of like questions to ask him. That was like.
It's fucking dumb. And then like this whole fucking sphere. It's just it's stupid. Like that Jubilee shit. Why the fuck would you? It's like Jerry Springer for nerds. Like you put me in a room. Like what? Why would you voluntarily enter a room with 20 fascists? Like you're not gonna win. All you're doing is making some fucking slot merchant money, and debasing and degrading yourself. Like Mehdi Hassan. Well, Mehdi Hassan has always been a piece of shit, to be honest. But like.
Yeah.
So like if anything, videos like that just show that talking to people is not going to change their mind. It's not.
No, especially talking to the masses change their mind, but Nazis are not the masses. Like,
we were talking about this earlier too. Like a lot of people are focused on how can we change the backwards mind. You don't even need to worry about them.
Well, we do need to worry about them.
The backwards
we need to worry about them. But
like
there's the people that are set in their way. They're not going to change their mind. And then there are the people that were raised that way but they can be taught another way to look at things. And that's kind of the divide and the backwards. But you should really be focusing more on the intermediate, and those backwards that are semi self-aware will just follow that crowd.
Yeah.
I feel like the only reason to ever go on a Jubilee like video is if you crank your hog to like intellectual debate.
If you crank your hog for intellectual debate, you have a serious problem. Oh yeah, I'm having one of the YDSA NCC kids on tomorrow. Trey from Vermont. He's a funny guy. It should be fun.
All right.
Maybe he's watching this. So we're your gang of four.
The gang of four.
Cyan is about to fall asleep.
What?
It's all that Celsius.
No, I'm not. I'm
Yes,
fine.
you are. You look bored.
I'm just listening to you guys intently, enjoying the music of your guys' voices.
Our
are
soothing voices.
You were born to be a streamer. You are a very good bullshitter. You know that? Then you've got Tiva over here looking like the prison imam.
That's a compliment.
Yes, it's a compliment.
What's my
New
Bible?
Yes, the Liberation Caucus it's our newest caucus. See, Tiva, you've got the janky red book. You got to
I
If you're
do.
not white, apply.
I do.
You gotta
It's
get the old school.
I got that same one.
it's wonderful.
It's in my room though.
The mistranslations are what really make it.
Sometimes when the words are like spaced out and shit.
Let's see if I can find something here.
The richest source of power to wage war lies in the masses of the people. It is mainly because of the unorganized state of the Chinese masses that Japan dares to bully us. When this defect is remedied, then the Japanese aggressor, like a mad bull crashing into a ring of flames, will be surrounded by hundreds of millions of our people standing upright. The mere sound of their voices will strike terror into him, and he will be burned to death.
See, my favorite one is all reactionaries are paper tigers. In appearance, the reactionaries are terrifying, but in reality, they're not so powerful. From a long-term point of view, it is not the reactionaries, but the people who are really powerful. And then you can see all of the words smushed together right there.
That's the cheap like eBay version, eBay bulk version.
That's the circa 2014 Wish version.
The real proletariat has pirated PDFs.
That's like that's a prop. Like over in China when they dress up as red guards or something, like their version of like cosplaying hippies for Halloween is red guards. So like when they dress up as red guards, they'll have those cheap
Have you seen the prices of some of those like older legit copies?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, those are collector's items. All right. So, this went pretty well.
I had a good time.
Nobody got kidnapped.
We're chilling.
Nobody
We're
got
chilling.
kidnapped. Yeah.
Almost.
Nobody
Just
kidnapped BRG.
After stream, though. After stream.
Bro said after stream.
Yeah,
Turn around.
I got a black
Anyways.
van parked out front that's been there for 3 hours. So
Yeah, you think I'm in my apartment right now?
We're outside your apartment.
Yeah,
You're
we
in a
just have
warehouse.
a RV.
You're in a warehouse somewhere.
We're secret Gonzaloites.
Not secret.
Not secret.
Skrilla is our friendly Gonzaloite. If you drink another one of those fucking knockoff
That's
ass,
like the 8th you've had.
I'm thirsty.
you are addicted to aspartame.
Drink water.
you're
Or do
thirsty
you not know
because
how to
you're
fill a cup of
drinking
water in a sink.
It's too hot for all them sodas, man. You gonna fall out. What's wrong with you, bro?
This shit's good, bro.
No, get your shit together.
Hey, no, I was at the store earlier and they had a buy 2 get 4 free on every knockoff soda
Buy
in
two,
the store.
get 4 free. What the fuck?
Like, if I wasn't trying to be on my healthy shit, I would have bought them too.
That shit, yeah, they're giving away because the shit's nasty.
You should have bought some for me.
I'd take that.
Ain't nobody buying that shit because it's nasty as fuck. So they gotta give the shit away.
Except for Skrilla.
Yeah, he'll buy it full price.
Yeah. He'd probably pay extra.
I'm gonna get him good. I'm gonna replace his Dr. Thunder with bull piss one day.
What's the difference? He won't notice.
Wait, hold on,
He'll be like,
hold
"Oh,
on.
this shit tastes better than ever before."
You
Yeah, I
gotta
had
take
a
the gun off
coworker.
the banner and put a can of
another
knockoff
one.
soda in his hand.
Oh, y'all got Sam's in Indiana?
Yeah.
I had a coworker that used to love energy drink too. Like he would literally get one of them, you know, them big ass QT cups. He would get one of those shits. He'd fill it up with ice, and this motherfucker would take like, what is wrong with you? What is it with you and Pitt? Look, stop. Look, there are 541 people watching this. Stop trying to subject the entire world to your piss fetish. Anyways, this guy would take like 3 or 4 monsters and just pour them over in there, and then he would put sugar in the shit. I'm like, bro, what is wrong?
Oh my god, that reminds me of the drink I made.
Oh yeah, the battery acid.
I knew you were
Oh
going to say
yeah,
something
when you
like
took,
that.
this motherfucker took. Okay, so you had a base of what energy drinks, right? A couple
Yeah,
Red
it was
Bull,
White Monster. No, it was White Monster.
White Monster. It was a White Monster. Then you took all the candy for some reason and you dissolved. I'm like, is this some type of like Zoomer lean or something? What
Yeah,
is
that
it?
sounds like lean.
No, don't even do that. It's just a nice little snack. That's all it is.
A nice little snack.
You ain't going. By the time you're 30, you is not gonna have a single tooth in your hand.
He might have one.
Why you got
I'm gonna get
the people's veneers.
That's just rocks from the garden.
I would prefer to have my teeth.
That's why I'm drinking sugar free.
You're gonna be walking around looking like James Brown at 30.
That's what happens when you don't.
Light skinned James Brown.
You need teeth.
I think Dane wants to play armor, so I think we should wrap this up. But
join DSA and apply for
Join
liberation in the fall.
yes,
We need more soldiers.
Will you be admitted? We are not a paramilitary organization, but will you be admitted? It depends. It depends on if BRG, Skrilla, Cyan, and Diva like you.
Yeah.
Yes, we are
Particularly
the people.
BRG. Actually, BRG is not going to be part of that soon. So just
It's mainly Tiba.
mainly.
I'm hard to impress.
Everybody's anti-black. Anyways, we are
The Gang of Four.
The gang of
The
four.
Gang of Four.
the gang of
Oh, cold. You're not supposed